From the corner. Yeah. Sometimes your stock is just higher.
I'm telling you, that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's probably one of the worst things I've ever heard. Let's move on.
Just like that.
All right, we are rolling, baby.
Yeah.
Welcome to another edition of From the Corner. How you guys doing?
From the
Yeah,
corner.
no.
Yeah, good, dude.
From the corner. Yeah, can't be complaining,
From
yeah.
the corner.
From the corner,
I'm
from
sure
the
the
corner.
viewers love listening to us just talk about from the corner, from the corner, from the corner.
Yeah,
but
well, you need to apologize to the listeners
oh right. So
because
anyway,
they haven't heard your expert breakdowns in 2 weeks.
Yeah, actually 3 weeks. So guys, we are very sorry. The white belt jiu-jitsu and the no belt karate, whose dad is a black belt, and Jay, who is a brown belt in absolutely
Nothing.
I was going to say everything. I was going to say life, but we do apologize. We haven't been around since Woodley versus Covington, and we still need to talk about Israel's saggy boobs. We still need to talk about Dominic Reyes and Polish Power.
Yeah, we
but
haven't talked about any of that. Yeah.
But most importantly, so we'll cover those cards quickly, but most importantly, Drukkus du Plessis.
Oh, yeah, my lekker
Just
potjie.
reminding the fans that South Africa is on the map. You know, people
Oh, yeah.
forget.
You know, people talk about Polish Power, maar ek sê daai Suid-Afrikaanse boers daai.
South Africa, Poppy.
Ja, papi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's
So-
awesome. I'm so stoked.
So we'll come and cover those cards a little bit and talk about Dom Reyes versus Polish Power. We'll talk about Izzy and Paulo Costa. That both fights a little bit disappointing, but great results anyway for the champs. But I think we should just start off by saying, well done, Drukkus. You've done South Africa proud.
Yeah,
when
what a
we
legend.
really needed something to shout about, and you gave it to us. A beautiful first round knockout win, and
Well,
he's ranked after his debut.
Yeah, well, is he ranked?
Not ranked.
Yeah,
but,
well, I mean,
yeah.
he's aiming for that top 20, as he said in his post-fight interview. But you know, to be honest with you, I was a bit concerned.
So was
he
I.
looked very uncomfortable in the first 30 seconds of that fight, and
Yeah.
you know, he actually looked uncomfortable for the majority of that fight until he started advancing and walking Perez down to some point, and then he managed to land that little left hook off that combination. But
Yeah.
geez, I was super worried. Basically, that's my point.
I thought he looked very uncomfortable. Yeah,
He did.
and it must have been nerves. Also, that's the biggest
Yeah.
fight of his life, and he's 26.
Yes, and
100%.
also he not only it's the biggest fight of his life, but the fact that he's also fighting his biggest fight of his life to an empty arena with Dana White front row. So I can imagine it's a huge that is the most stressful job interview one can ever go through.
100%.
And he also mentioned in his post-fight interview afterwards with the press guys is that, you know, there's so much riding on your UFC debut because there's a potential that if you do badly, you might not get another shot at, you might not get another shot at the UFC. You might get cut immediately.
Do they ever do one fight deals? I don't think they do, but I don't know how it works. I think you're right. I think if you do very poorly on your debut and if you look very nervous the way Drukkus did, I think then you might get cut straight away. But because he took the fight on short notice, I think that would have been overlooked. However, we don't even need to talk about that. So there is a bit of a technical problem with Jay's.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's head on to
we'll
Jay
get him
and
back.
ask him what the hell is he doing with this damn camera.
We'll,
It just decides to switch itself off whenever it wants to.
Okay,
this
that's
is
great
vintage.
news.
This is vintage from the corner.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a drink.
Cool.
Take a drink, guys.
Can you tell her
Don't-
not to do that anymore, dude?
Yeah. Just don't
but,
miss my face
you know,
too much, boys.
We have to actually talk to each other because our manager said that most of the fans listening I actually want to know about our week. How was your week? Come on, Rock, you go first.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm
Wasn't it your-
exhausted, dude. I've had an
It was your
absolute
birthday
ripper.
recently. Tell us about that.
What's that? Oh, I had my birthday recently. Yeah,
celebration.
dude. So
He's
I'm
turned
coming,
into Grandpa G now.
yeah, I'm coming off
Ooh.
about a 4-day bender that ended last night, and I'm having a couple of rech markers now because, holy shit, with myself and the missus being back-to-back birthdays, it usually ends up being about a 4-day celebration. So I'm coming off 4 days of putting my body through some stress, and I've got to get back into shape now. I'm starting to feel a little heavy in the chin. And at 36
coming-
years old, you can't be doing that no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're coming off 4 losses, and you need a win.
Yeah,
On your
yeah,
record.
for sure,
100%.
for sure. Listen, I'm gonna drive all the way over to Jared's house, and I'm gonna break his camera.
Flip, this thing is bumming me out.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Well-
do you even have an alternative?
Yes, he does.
No, I don't really.
Oh, are you using the app on your phone?
Yeah, but it's never done this before. I don't know why it's been so lame.
Well, while you fix it, I'll go on a monologue. How's
Go
that?
for it,
You
brother.
do
Well,
that.
let's talk about it. What are we talking about
Well-
first? Because we've had a few days of a few weeks of hiatus, so we need to
Yeah.
give the listeners some quality content here, brother. We've missed some good cards.
Yeah.
So where do we start?
Thank you firstly to our sponsors, Pocket TV. We now live on Pocket, so we'll still be on YouTube. Don't be worried. We're not going anywhere. Papa will talk about the channel thing in a bit. What we can do is we can talk about the co-main and the main of UFC 253. So there's a new light heavyweight champion, and that's Polish power Jan Blachowicz.
Jan Blachowicz, yeah. What a banger. Hey, what a great guy to get that light heavyweight championship. But Dom Reyes looked a little bit out of sorts. He just didn't want to pull the trigger.
I thought that I think you're right. When I see Dom Reyes versus a guy like John Jones, and when I think of what Dom Reyes would do against a kickboxer like Thiago Santos, I get excited. And that's why I was so excited for this fight. And then you put him against Polish Power. And Polish Power is a strange kind of fighter because he's dangerous if he gets hold of you. He's deceptively quick actually with his striking. So I'm actually all in. I like this guy as champ, and I think John Jones is not going to waste time at light heavyweight. And I think John Jones is the GOAT. He's going to go up to heavyweight and try and absolutely maximize his GOAT status and just go back above Khabib Nurmagomedov for the pound for pound.
For pound number one.
And I think Jones fights Stipe Miocic. And I think he fights hopefully Francis Ngannou. So that light heavyweight division is now setting up perfectly for Polish Power versus Thiago Santos, which is a fun fight.
Yeah, that is would be a rematch where Thiago actually won that fight. But just on the heavyweight thing, you cannot put Jones ahead of Francis Ngannou. He has really worked his way up over the last since his loss to Stipe, and obviously there was that little wobbly against Derek Lewis where it was just a no-go fight. Both of them were too scared to pull the trigger. The fact remains is Francis has worked his way back to that title shot, and I don't think Jones is good to skip him because he's already been skipped.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna agree with you, and also he's beat 2 massive names. Ngannou's beat Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos, so you can't put anyone in front of him. But guess what, baby? We're talking about the Benjamins now. I think John Jones versus Stipe it's a fun fight, and it makes more money.
Yeah, well, it is a good fight indeed. It is gonna make a lot of money, but I'm still of the opinion that France has got to get that shot, man. But yeah, it's going to be interesting times. I mean, how amazing is it right now to be a fight fan? It's the best time to be a fight fan. There's just so much content. Like after, obviously the UFC were the first to come back with their sport, bringing MMA back, and then obviously the rest of the stuff followed. But there is just so much happening right now, and I think the UFC in particular has been the best off in terms of sports coming back to television and putting fights and events on.
Yeah, man. I have to say, like, just go a little bit off track. I mean, I started watching MMA about 5 years ago when McGregor was coming up the ranks, probably about 4 years ago. I always knew about Anderson the Spider Silva, and I watched like some of the main events where he fought. But when McGregor fought Nate Diaz, that's when I was all in. And I have to say, look, it never really went away during COVID. These guys made sure that they put shows on. It was probably gone for about a month, in the height of the lockdowns.
Yeah, I
global
mean,
lockdown.
it was really just the London card and then the Brazil card that had no fans. That was the first card, and then they called off the London card. And shame, I feel so sorry for Leon Edwards, not to also digress too much, but yeah, I mean, like, just going to my point again, there's just so much to talk about and so much happening. It's crazy.
But I like the way on From the Corner we always go back to the UFC's welterweight division, and it gives me a chance. It gives me a chance just to trash Ben Askren once again. But anyway, moving on.
Oh, I think we got Jay back, boys.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay's back. Jay,
It was an
take us
upgrade,
through-
eh?
we need to go quite quickly, but take us through Israel's sagging boob. What is this called? What is it? I think it's called gynomastia.
Yeah, so apparently it's called gyno. Yeah, they just call it
Camastia.
gyno because
Gynomastia, yeah.
Yeah, so apparently the whole situation is weightlifters or extreme sport people get it from roiding a bit too much, and it collects testosterone in their pectoral region, and they just start getting saggy boobs. But
I mean,
yeah, Izzy's been very open about it, and he claims that it's been an issue that he has had previously, and I know he went for a checkup because people going like, it could be cancer.
No,
and
he made a
doesn't seem
joke
too
about
stressed.
that.
Yeah.
so what did he actually say when they asked him about his pec? 'Cause just for the listeners who aren't aware, he's got like his sort of let's say his left pec. His left pec is fine, and his right pec looks a little bit like I don't know. I don't want to
A
go
milk
into all the
teat.
shapes of boobs, but it looks like a bit curvy, and there's a bit of a sag where where his other pec looks very solid. And the gynomastia apparently happens in both nipples.
Yes,
So it's strange that
apparently.
he's only got it in one. What did he actually say
So I can't remember who you were speaking to. Was it?
in the press conference? I mean,
Oh no, the press conference he kind of blurred off. But I saw a post-fight podcast.
spoke
I
to
think it
Ariel.
was Ariel, yeah. And I mean, they were both super honest, and he spoke about it, and he was just like, it's definitely he would never touch this stuff in his life. He's never roided ever, and yeah, so he went for a checkup, but I haven't heard back on what the outcome of the checkup was.
So there we go. There's some gyno example there. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Now,
crazy,
can I-
man.
Yeah, can I just say that does look horrible. You would never want your boobs to look like that. Not saying anything bad about boobs, just you want them to be. You don't want them to demorph.
Yeah.
So I don't think he does steroids. I'm
No.
putting it out there. I think he's clean. These guys are doing a lot of strange things to their bodies when it comes to hormones, and I think if you can, when like I'll quote Uncle Chael. Chael says performance enhancing drugs, everyone's on performance enhancing drugs, and he's not saying it in the Nate Diaz way. He's saying it in a way that if you drink an Energade before a fight, you're enhancing your performance
Yeah,
with sugar.
or if you take an asthma pump as well, apparently.
Well, yeah, that's not allowed, and we found out the hard way with
Yeah.
Greg Hardy. But
Good old
yeah,
Greg Hardy.
So I think these guys are taking who knows how toxic, but the mixtures of enzymes and proteins and creatine and a bunch of shit that they do to enhance their performance in the octagon. And I think Izzy's clean of steroids, but probably guilty of every other thing under the sun that you can get away with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's a
wouldn't.
good
Yeah, I
way to
wouldn't.
look
No, I
at it.
wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he's doing stuff legally, but and who knows? That could have caused it. I mean, we're not doctors. We haven't checked him
Yeah.
up. So
And if you just pan the camera down a bit,
Oh,
I've got a lot
there
of
we go.
testosterone on. I've got a lot of testosterone in me, and there's no sag there.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
another talking point for everyone. It's everybody grabs onto it so with dear life to like, oh, he's got, he has to be taking roids or using PEDs to get the performances that he gets. But I truly believe that he is he's a killer.
Yeah.
Well, I like what you did there with that innuendo. You were talking about his boobs, and you said grab onto it. Should we move on to the fight? So Izzy versus Costa, biggest fight in the middleweight division since Bisping versus GSP, in my opinion. Izzy,
It was just a clean out.
somebody's had to go. They were both unbeaten, and Izzy just showed a kickboxing masterclass from a guy that's a very dangerous kickboxer, actually.
Yeah. Lots of showboating from Costa in those exchanges where, it's a simple factor of when a guy reacts, when a fighter reacts to certain things like strikes, that's when they're hurt. And he was chopping that lead leg down. His leg was trash.
It looked so brutal.
It was trash. And a lot of people brought the fact that he had cupping marks on his calves. That had nothing to do with it. Cupping and stuff I think is just for muscle recovery from training a lot and all that kind of jazz. But he got chopped down faster than literally Israel Adesanya went logging.
Yeah.
I think, sorry, Jay, go for it. Did you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say, even though Izzy flippin just dominated, it was quite weird that Costa just didn't advance at all. He didn't try and grapple. He kind of just stood there and just tried to take it. Was he waiting for Izzy to burn out, or was he it was such a weird game plan. And I've heard his coaches say that wasn't the plan. He was doing his own thing in that fight. So it was just I don't know what was going through his head.
I think he it was the biggest fight of his life as well. And I think that, like your UFC debut, sometimes your first title shot, you can freeze. And whether there's 60,000 people in the arena or 6 people in the arena, I think it's such a big fight for him. He froze.
Yeah.
Because when I see a guy showboating, and he was showboating in round 1, and he got TKO finish loss in round 2. So when I see a guy showboating, it makes me think he's trying to get in Izzy's head, but Izzy's just landing this vicious kick to his shin, and Izzy's game plan was brilliant. I don't want to take anything away from Izzy. I just think he's brilliant.
Yeah, totally.
I think Costa wants a rematch because he wants to try dive in. And I think if he gets a rematch, Izzy's going to do the same thing, quite honestly.
It's funny you said to get into Izzy's head. I think the only way you're going to get in Izzy's head is if you kick him in the head and he goes down. That's the only way you're going to get in his head.
You're right. That guy has nerves of steel. I mean, I've never seen him nervous. He walked out to a sold-out crowd, I don't know, 100,000 people in, I think it was in Melbourne when he fought Robert Baker.
Where he did his little breakdance.
Yeah, and he dances before a fight. Who else has ever done that?
I mean, that means you can't possibly have any nerves whatsoever. I mean, it's like, you're going to come out. I mean, you've still got to pull off the dance. You're putting so much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, so I'll give you guys an example from my life. I've played in the 4th team at Old Mutual for the last couple of years. Getting into my later years in footy, my legs, I'm not going to be able to have the pace of Cristiano Ronaldo forever. But and also just action cricket. So when we play action cricket, then our team does well. We make it to sort of the 3rd division, which is quite a good level of cricket, actually, if I don't say so myself. But when you play in a knockout and you win, so now we've won the quarterfinal, we win the semi-final. When you get to that final and they give you that bat and say, go stand, and it's your turn to try score, 12 runs in 12 balls, you're feeling very nervous. The stomach's going crazy, butterflies, and it takes me back to that Dricus du Plessis fight. Also with soccer, I've been in a semi-final where I needed to take a penalty and the score was 0-0. thank God I scored the penalty. But there were days, the time I'm thinking about, I scored. But there were days where I was
Yeah.
nervous and I missed. And it just, it makes me think of these guys because I think the consequences for them losing are so much worse as well.
Yeah.
They could get knocked out and wake up a very long time later, and it's embarrassing to get knocked out in your underwear
Yeah.
in front of 60,000 people.
Yeah, I mean,
This guy's got nerves
that is
of
as
steel.
raw as you get. That is as raw
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
you get.
No,
I mean,
totally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jump. So let's carry on about the Israel fight.
Correct.
I mean, carry on.
No, I was going to say, let's go to Holm. So
Well, I do want to talk about the humping. I mean, he not only
Yes.
dismantled Paulo Costa, he literally humiliated him after the fight. And now
Yeah.
you saw after the fight, he was still on Fight Island. Just after the fight, just fresh stitches going, I'm going to kill him. And this human trash, you see what he did to me after the fight. It's interesting to see, and he's still persistent with those messages saying, I want that fight, Dana White, give me a rematch. Dude, there's no rematch, there's no contract. You got beaten so handedly that you got to work your way back up.
Yeah, totally.
Look, I have a slightly different opinion of it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Firstly,
You're wrong.
you're wrong. No. Firstly, just on the fight, I think if he beats a Darren Till and a Robert Whittaker, he can fight Israel Adesanya again. But he might find himself up against somebody like a Kamzat. So we'll put that one. We'll put that away quickly for now before we get carried away again.
Yes.
But in terms of the bad sportsmanship, so just for the listeners, he sort of made like a humping motion.
He dry humped him.
He rode him like a horse.
For me, that's just bad sportsmanship, and
Yeah, I also didn't dig it.
I think Israel humiliates himself more when he does that. So that's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Look, I mean, you got to look at the country you're representing. For instance, look at Connor. There's a lot of the Irish population that do not like that he represents Ireland because of his brash behavior and the way he is and all that kind of stuff. But then again,
great at first.
Listen, you know how disrespectful it is to someone to like throw a white belt at them at the face-offs. He was really trying to get in his head, where I thought the interaction between Izzy and Costa was very genuine on Izzy's part and actually on Costa's part. They actually, at the time, I think they were both so surprised that they saw each other that they both their guards were down and they didn't know how to react, and they were just cordial with each other. To say that I was in his head and I sized him up and said you look skinny and all that kind of jazz, I honestly, they think that they caught themselves off guard, and their natural instinct was to be how they were both brought up, being cordial with each other. Also, they've got to get to the fight. You can't be suspended or get a medical suspension for argy-bargy and end up with a cut on your brow or whatever the case may be. I just think Adesanya felt so disrespected also because of that that press conference where he had a whole bunch of his yes men and Adesanya or Adesanya had all of these people like laughing at every comment Paulo had to say, and you could actually hear it in the broadcast. Anyway, that's enough on that. I just think he was like, I told you so, and now I'm going to give it to you hard. And now he hasn't stopped on social media.
Well, there's no doubt, hands down, besides anything before or after, Izzy won with a flippin' beautiful fight. So there it is.
Boom.
Yeah, true. I mean, and just to add to that, and I think...
No, we're done.
The white belt, him throwing a white belt, come on, that's banter.
No,
The dry humping thing, that's not banter, that's bullshit. So we'll see what Dana does. Probably docks a bit of money off his purse, I don't know. These guys shouldn't have any time for poor sportsmanship. It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
I like the guys that get into a fist fight and then hug each other afterwards. That's what it's all about, really. It's a sport.
Can I just ask Jared a question?
Yes.
Yes.
What's happened to Dan?
Yeah, bro.
No,
What
I'm all
happened
for
to
the ban.
you?
He's got that gyno, bro. It's just affecting
Is
his
it now
brain
that
as
we're
well.
on
Yeah.
Pocket TV, you trying to keep it PC, bro?
No, I've always been speak my mind, and I sometimes get in trouble with all sorts of human rights activists. But I'm also a human rights activist, so let's chat. Come on the phone.
Okay, great. Moving on. So next, Holly Holm. That's the last main event that we saw.
Not really. Oh yeah, sorry. The last main event.
Yeah, look, I mean,
not fight night.
let's not go too much into Reyes Blachowicz. I mean, we dealt with that in the
No,
in the
we
beginning.
don't. No, we don't. I was going to say there's another main event we need to talk about, which is Marlon Moraes.
Okay, but just
But that's
two quick takeaways. Brandon Royval, keep your eyes on it. People listening, this is the reason why this podcast is to create awareness to the people in our circles.
Yeah.
Brandon Royval, check him out. He is a stone cold killer, and
he was amazing.
I mean, we could go into lots of other details, Diego Sanchez and all that kind of stuff. But Holly Holm versus Irene Aldana. It was who's going to start? I mean, it was a clinic.
Yeah, you go for it.
Well, all right. So I was high on Aldana coming into the fight, and I really like her boxing. I really like the way she's aggressive and she walks forward and stuff. But Holly Holm is just, I mean, have you seen her just before she starts around, how she paces up and down the corners?
Yeah.
And she's just go, 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 go. And I couldn't believe that she managed to keep the same energy throughout 5 rounds. And, it's quite an annoying fighting style for me to watch, because it's back up, blitz forward, back up, circle, circle, blitz forward, back up, blitz forward, circle, 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 circle. It was frustrating to watch. And they both kept on circling to the same direction. So, like, it was literally watching a merry-go-round for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
But they were both circling off their power hands, and avoiding, obviously, certain strengths that they each had identified in their game. But at the end of the day, Holly Holm with a dominant performance, beating Irene Aldana. Nothing much more to say about that.
No,
I'm happy with your analysis of that one.
I'm
Brilliant.
100% agree.
Brilliant. Is that some support from the man himself, the official white belt? No, I'm only joking. Thanks, man. I like to put a spin on things. Just joking. Anything else? Also, Jermaine Durandamy from that card looked amazing. So you might see a Jermaine Holly Holm too.
Ooh, give me that.
Yeah. Anything else from that card that stuck out to you? I mean, stood out to you?
Stuck out.
I think just the main event for me, yeah.
Okay. Well, just a quick mention. Dusko Todorovic dominated. He's a 10-0 guy coming out of Serbia. Dominated Daquan Townsend, who's actually quite a seasoned vet. He's got 21-12 record. And so definitely one to watch for sure. And then I don't think there was. Let me just check. Carlos Condit coming up for the win against Court McGee. There was some weird things happening in there, but then also Loma Lukbunmi with some crazy Muay Thai to get a win as well. So that was pretty cool. But other than that, bro, it was a fun card. There's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about Royval. I see his nickname's Raw Dog.
Yeah,
what weight is he?
Him and Darren Till are having a little bit of an argument who came out with the first. But yeah, Brandon Royval came out. He was fighting Kai Kara France out of City Kickboxing, very popular gym at the moment under Eugene Behrman. And Kai Kara France is no slouch. Brandon Royval just came out and he got dropped, and then threw a spinning back elbow and connected. Just such a I think I don't even know if it got a performance bonus, but I think he did. But then he eventually caught Cara France in a standing guillotine, but he jumped guard and caught him in a guillotine and managed to get the W. But super exciting fight. That is definitely my fighter to watch soon, coming out of the flyweight division.
Cool.
And I feel a little bit bad for Cara France.
By the way, while we're talking about flyweights, Madfit actually, the little giant Bokang, he trains at Madfit just for his, I think it's just for his jiu-jitsu when he's in Cape Town. So he trains with Brandon, the Prof Hoff.
Okay.
And I rolled against little Bokang.
Oh, nice. When was this,
wow.
dude? Tell us about it.
And he subbed me. He's actually quite good at. I had to tap. He's quite good at.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's what you're there for. You're there to learn.
Jeez, and to make you tap is quite hard, eh?
I've also given you an undertaking, Dan. Didn't you and I have an undertaking the last time we saw each other?
Well, I didn't want to break your arm. That's why you didn't tap.
No, man. You said that you've given me a couple of weeks.
You're talking
First
about
of November, I
your
come to
commitment.
Madfit.
You're talking about your commitment.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I was
Well,
there.
you-
I saw
you-
a
you
handshake and I saw everything.
Yeah. So you said to me that I need to come and do a couple of sessions down with you at the gym, and I
didn't
said
say a
I've
couple
got
of
to get in
sessions. I said,
shape,
get
which I
your
haven't
brown
started
belt,
doing
good.
yet. But I will take you up on it if you make it fun for me, bro.
I'll make it very unfun at first.
Yeah.
No, so with jits, just like anyone that's actually wanting to join, it's a very addictive sport. You'll absolutely love it. The first few weeks do suck. Just get ready. You're gonna hurt. You're not gonna break any bones, but you're gonna get hurt. Your throat's gonna have to get conditioned. You're gonna talk like that for a few weeks.
Speaking of my
Fingers,
throat from this
everything-
weekend,
Everything gets stronger though, and then your body starts. I'm even doing strength training now because I kept on getting injured again when I went back. About 2 months ago, I went back and I kept on getting a new little dumb injury every week, like a tricep or a leg.
Yeah.
So what happens when you get old, eh, Dan?
Now, I think it's a bit of old
listen,
age, and it's
you're
the
not
fact that I
far
stopped
off from
doing
me,
strength training.
Dan.
I'm 1 year younger. Yeah, I'm right
You're not
there.
1 year younger. You're a couple of months younger.
You turned 36, right?
Yeah.
I'm still 34 right now, baby.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
You can tell in that baby face. That's, yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just because I do jiu-jitsu, so that's why I look young.
Right,
No,
right.
for sure.
My secret.
Um,
Anyway.
Yeah, well, listen, this is what podcasts all about, bruh. This is about chatting, shooting the shit with the boys. So,
Yeah. So,
um,
I'm saying we have a big card to talk about.
yes, absolutely.
Take us through the prelims that really caught your attention. The one prelim that really caught my eyes. I don't know if you guys think this was a fun fight, but give me 1 sec. It was the two ladies, Tracy Cortez versus Stephanie Egger. I thought that was fun.
Okay, listen, without being that guy, how cute is Tracy Cortez?
Yeah,
I
very.
don't know if
I
I
think
watched
she's
that fight.
super cute.
We-
She
we're
has
allowed
this
to-
weird. Have you seen that? And that she's got that weird tattoo on her arm. It's like someone wearing a UFC T-shirt and a New York Yankees cap. Yeah, I just noticed. I thought, and she's got diamonds in her teeth.
Do you know it's not actually a UFC T-shirt. It's a grey hoodie, and it's a tattoo of Papa G.
Oh wow! Okay, great. Yeah, yeah. But
he's an MMA
I
podcaster
thought that
and she
was a
wants to
great
get on the
fight,
show.
and there were some great scrambles in that fight as well. Was that
Yeah.
the prelim card?
Yeah, it was on the prelim.
They were second on
Oh,
the
it
prelim.
was Tracy Cortez versus Stephanie Egger. I thought
Yes,
Egger.
and look, it ended up in a decision, and there were a lot of fun knockouts on this card and prelim.
100%.
Your jeepers.
But I thought it was a good fight to watch. I just thought it was very back and forth battle. I thought, Cortez dominated it, but there were times where Egger had, I don't know. I liked, maybe it's because she was good looking. Who knows?
Yeah, well, also Egger was very long for the division.
Yeah.
She was slim.
Absolutely.
She could wrap you up with those legs and arms especially against the smaller fighters.
But I also,
it was her
yeah, I
debut
think
though, hey?
Okay, and but also it was cool because they were taking each other down. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I can see you're a very good grappler. I'm going to take you down anyway.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I know Cortez sort of towards the end of the fight dominated and made Ega look a bit ordinary, but I thought it was a fun fight.
Yeah,
I
she
don't
was
normally
cool.
watch it prelims.
I really
This card-
enjoy Tracy Cortez. She's really great in the scrambles on the ground and transitioning and attacking from different positions. I really enjoyed that. Just from the prelim side, Bruno Silva versus Tagir Ulambekov was seriously, it went to a decision. Bruno Silva had such a size disadvantage, yet put on such a great performance against this guy. Who's considered a very big prospect. I mean, he was 13-1, and Bruno Silva is 10-5. Another one was Giga Chikadze. That was fun. They baited each other from the beginning bell to the end. It was a really fun one to watch. And then Giga Chikadze actually took Morales as his O.
Oh, wow.
Are we talking about the same? Oh, I see.
Yeah, they were
I
the
think
start.
we're missing the main sort of fights on the prelim card, which was Joaquin
I was going to
Buckley's
say let's
knockout.
deal with we'll save the best for last, but let's go straight to it.
Well,
We literally
I think
witnessed
those-
the best KO in
Yeah.
UFC history.
Well, I
It's
have to
the
say
biggest-
those last 3 fights of the prelims were all pretty decent. They were all amazing
Fire.
TKOs. But that flippin' Impa Buckley fight was fire from the beginning, and it just ended with the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
so Joaquin Buckley threw a kick at Impa Kasanganai,
Kasangana, yeah.
and Kasanganai caught the kick, and Buckley turned
No.
around.
Buckley caught the kick. Oh, sorry.
So Kasanganai caught the kick, and Buckley turned around with his other leg and just threw a evil, vicious flying roundhouse jumping. Here
Oh,
we go.
there it is. Oof.
He catches the kick. Now you would think,
Boom!
keep that hand up. Oh, it was yeah. So the round
You're
out, the sort
brutal.
of round. What would Joe Rogan call it? I think that's a
It's a
It's a
spinning heel,
spinning-
spinning,
Yeah.
it's
Spinning
heel
back.
kick. Spinning back kick, yeah.
no, it's a spinning back kick because he doesn't hit him with his heel. He actually kicks it quite straight.
Check the eyes
So-
go.
Yeah, because
Good night.
Kasanganai's expecting it to come around, and it actually just comes very straight, and
Yeah,
his
it's
blocking hand
insane,
does
man.
nothing for him.
Yo.
That's insane.
Yeah,
It's funny. I saw a clip of Jean-Claude Van Damme in a movie doing exactly that, and they're like, "This is
Crazy.
This belongs in a movie. This is no one's seen
Yeah.
that live before. No one's ever hit that before. It was amazing."
Yeah.
It's nuts, man. Absolutely
So
crazy.
we also, just by the way, there are some social media burns on the
Yeah,
on WhatsApp
for
feed,
sure.
at the end. Yeah,
Got
there's
it.
4.
I've got them. I can see them.
But should we progress to the main card?
Yeah,
Yes,
let's do it.
absolutely. Just quickly, one thing is obviously Joaquin Buckley. You can't deny the guy. That's for me one of the best knockouts. That and Alistair Overeem Ngannou knockout. That was crazy. Chris Dawkins with a very quick finish, and then another guy, Tom Breeze, who's a British fighter that I really enjoy watching. Super awkward on the mic, which makes it kind of make you love him, which is great. So main card. Let's start from the top. Corey Sandhagen with an absolute
Masterclass.
Yeah,
perfection
it was
of
beautiful.
perfect fight.
Yeah.
Perfect fight.
Yeah. So just from my take, this one was a fun fight because it looked like and this is a stacked division. The bantamweight division in the UFC has got absolute killers in it. Now Moraes, I think at the start of this fight was ranked 1.
Yeah.
Because he's only lost against the former champ Cejudo, and Sandhagen was I think ranked 4 because he's got a loss against Sterling, which was a bit of a freak of a loss if you ask me. But I think I'd love to see them go again. But so another side note, you can't deny Sterling a title there. But let's get back to the
They're
Moraes. It was
fobbing him
fun.
off, but carry on.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. But it was a fun fight. And I think Sandhagen just, both of these guys have pedigree. There's a reason why Moraes is ranked so highly in that division. And it's in such a stacked UFC division.
Well, I mean, remember he also beat Jose Aldo. He was coming off a win.
He did. Was it at 135? Yeah.
Moraes, yes.
Yeah. Sorry, he snuck a win. He snuck a win versus Aldo.
He snuck the
a
win,
win.
hence he didn't get the title shot. Aldo did.
But it was weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Dana thought that he had lost the fight, and so he gave Aldo the title. Anyway,
Correct.
I'm getting digressed again. What I just wanted to say was, I digress again. But what I just wanted to say was, I think that Corey Sandhagen is legit martial arts talent. The way
Yeah.
he imposed his will throughout that. Was it a second round? Was it a
Second round.
second
TKO.
round? Yeah. He in the first round was very evenly matched, and then Sandhagen just saw some openings and went for it.
Yeah, it was
Unbelievable finish as well.
That was the spinning heel kick, eh?
Spinning heel
Over the
kick.
corp, over the corp, and just
Yeah, right behind the ear.
Ooh,
oh,
yeah.
it was beautiful.
Then there was a little bit of a rumble tumble, trying to gain his. He was trying to get his bearings, and then he just rained some ground and pound on him, and then the ref stopped it. It was just such a perfect performance by Sandhagen. I've been high on him for quite a long time. He's suffered 2 devastating losses, but he's doing well. And as far as I'm concerned, if you look at the rankings, let's have a look at the rankings quickly.
And just on that, I'd say his loss against Aljamain Sterling, it was a first round sub, but I don't think it's a devastating loss like if it was a first round knockout, especially in something like a sport like boxing. I think he can get away with that one because it was a freak win by Sterling, and that's my opinion.
For sure. So we've
to
got
bantamweight.
that's bantamweight. We've
All
got
right, there we go. Read us the top 8.
well, Moraes is number 1. Then you got Sterling. So Sandhagen sitting at 4. He just beat Moraes at 1. So
He'll go
and
up.
he's just lost to Aljo. So Aljo Peter Jan is Poiter Jan or whatever you're gonna call him they're gonna fight for the title. I don't listen. We can go into why they haven't announced that fight yet. I have no idea why they're waiting. I have
That's the only
heard
thing.
Michael Bisping say it's because Cejudo is back in the mix.
Yeah.
So Cejudo might run and get that shot, but we don't know. It's only speculation. So the next thing for Corey Sandhagen is just to wait to see what happens for the bantamweight title because he's the number 1 contender. And then Cody, remember, Cody's now injured. He's got a torn bicep. And Cody's gone down to flyweight to fight Davison, which has now been put off. Now Davison is fighting Perez. So where does Corey Sandhagen go? Nowhere. Where does Marlon go?
I think Marlon drops to under Sandhagen and they keep Sterling at 2. That's what I think. We'll see tomorrow because they changed the rankings on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, and in his post-fight interview, he said there's only 2 people that are worthy. Is Frankie and then the winner, Frankie and who was the other one?
Isn't it the winner of Jan and Sterling?
That's it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Sure. I mean, I'm all in for that winner of Jan and Sterling. I don't
For
even
sure.
Who did Frankie Edgar beat recently?
He beat. Shit, who did he beat?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Let me look.
Well, why don't we look it up?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Shots. I'm just lazy to pull it up.
So then let's carry on while Jay is looking that up. So
Look, the only other fight I remember on that whole card, want ek is 'n Suid-Afrikaanse boer.
Drukers du Plessis.
Yeah.
Drukkers.
Did you hear what Brian Campbell called him? Because
What did he call him?
Drickus ended up on Morning Combat because of
Really?
Marcus. Yeah, because of Marcus Perez's Joker thing. They both laughed it off, said it was stupid because it's played itself out. He's done it before on multiple occasions, and now he's lost, so he's got to retire that gimmick. But he called him Driscus Duplessis.
Duplessis.
So Brian Campbell's got to get his South African pronunciation right, and I've got to give a personal shout out because Dan Hoddy watches this show, and he said,
Yes.
"Drickus Duplessis."
Nice, thank you, Dan.
Yeah,
You know,
thank
Brian,
Dan Hardy.
I can't be in 2 places at once. sorry.
That was good.
I'm
good.
Okay,
sorry.
so
I've
Frankie
done it.
Edgar's last fight was Pedro.
Pedro Munoz,
Munoz.
that was it. Yes, that was it.
No, Frankie Edgar's last fight. Was that it?
Yeah, Pedro
Yeah,
Munoz.
yeah.
They went
Frank-
5 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Jay.
But we can't ignore Edson Barbosa versus Marquand Americani, Mr. Finland. He called the fight with Edson, and he was, Edson's come down now to featherweight, has had one win. He looks great at featherweight.
Yeah, he always looks great.
Yeah, but he looks like he manages the 45-pound division well. Excuse me.
Yeah.
He at 55, he looked like a right size 55er, but at 45, he looks like a right size 45er. So it's weird. And he's got the hair grown out. He's got the beard and stuff. I love his look. He looked great. Marquand is a great fighter. Very, very crafty individual. But Edson came out with a win, so that's 2-0 now in the featherweight division. He's mentioning names like Max Holloway and all that kind of stuff. So that could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
That'll be
sure?
super
Are
fun.
you sure it's 2-0?
Yeah, 2-0. He beat who did he last beat in featherweight? He fought Dan Ige, I think it was.
But Dan Eager beat him by split decision.
Oh,
So yeah, he's
who was the other featherweight?
No, he lost a split decision to Paul Felder.
No, that's
at
at lightweight though.
Yeah,
Let's
before
talk
that.
about the
So
featherweight.
he's 1-1 at featherweight. But he needed a win. He was on a 3-fight losing
Did he
streak.
lose to Dan Ige?
Yeah, that's what I pulled up now, because I remember it being a very close fight, but I thought that he was 1-1.
Maybe because I scored that for him. Maybe
Correct, probably, and it was extremely close. No, it was.
it was. I scored that fight for
I would-
Edson.
Yeah, I would like to see him versus versus Max Holloway would be an incredibly fun
No,
fight.
But that's like he won't get that fight. Max is way too high up.
But
You'd have to go for someone like Josh Emmett or something first.
Barbosa's got a name.
Holloway
though.
Volkanovski 3. They were too close. You got to have the rubber match.
No, give
No.
Holloway Zabit, I think.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
yes. Oh, now we're
Oh
talking.
my god!
That would be fun, yeah.
What is a beast?
Wait, you've changed your mind now because you didn't want him to fight.
No,
high up.
so I did change my mind because I wanted Holloway versus Barbosa, but if Barbosa's not going to get that fight, then let's see. I want Holloway to have a big fight. If Holloway's not going to stay at featherweight, because I think he's a big boy, then I'd love to see Max Holloway versus Hooker at lightweight. Dan Hooker would be a fun fight as well.
Yeah.
That's just me digressing again, but I would.
Yeah.
For sure.
Max Holloway is my favorite fighter, so I'll
That-
take any chance I get to
I
talk
think
about
we
it.
both agree in our favorite fighter then. Then just another quick one to say, Tom Aspinall from fighting one of Darren Tarandill's teammates. Very quick
Tarandil.
finish again. So he's looking good. He looked very sharp. His opponent didn't. So I'm interested to see what he does going forward. And then also another very good fight was the opener. Also went to decision, was Yusuf Zalal versus Ilia Tupuria, where Ilia Tupuria remains undefeated at 9-0, and Zalal is no pushover. So that's another guy to look out for. And don't sleep on Zalal. He's still a brilliant fighter.
All right. And have we covered? Did we mention that Dricus du Plessis also won by knockout in the first round?
Yes. And we did mention in the
looked-
opening that he looked very uncomfortable doing it. And I'm hoping that he doesn't. Look, one day we're gonna interview him, so I don't want to piss him off too quickly.
No. Look,
But-
he looked a bit nervous, but he absolutely delivered.
He held his
for the
own,
South
eh?
He
African
delivered.
people.
I think the opening nerves really got to him, and he admitted it. But
Yeah.
he was reacting to the feints
Yeah.
like crazy.
And
I
when
was
he,
like, what is
yeah,
going
it was
on?
strange. When he was kicking, he also really
He was arching his back so much.
Yeah,
He was
turning very rigidly because he didn't
Yeah.
want to get counted. But you know what? That win will give him bags of confidence, and I think he's
Yeah.
going to go on a streak. I really think he's going to go on a run. And what a better guy to be a champion.
Yeah, flipping seems like the nicest. Oh,
He's in the middle. Yeah, he is the nicest guy, I think, in that whole division. He's in a stacked division though. But he's 26. We can give him a top 20 guy in 6 months' time, and then number 18, and then number 16, and then number 14. Dana White, Sean Shelby. Let's make this man a linear progression to the title. You know, I know
Well,
Dana
he-
and John watched the show.
He hasn't eaten a chocolate bar in years, so now
Yeah,
he
so
can't
it's
eat any
Paul
more
Felder.
chocolate bars.
Who was that? Paul Felder that
Yeah,
said that?
yeah,
That was
He
such a
hasn't had
great
chocolate
chip.
bar in a while.
yeah. Also, another thing, you know, we can't fail to mention it because it is our fellow countryman, where he took a risk, and he got a little bit political. Did you see that?
Oh, he
You
did,
know,
yeah.
He mentioned the farm murders in South Africa that needs to stop and all that kind of stuff. Caught a bit of
You
heat
know-
online. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, saying,
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I
you-
didn't.
you know,
Like, you
in the
always-
midst of a Black Lives Matter situation, why bring up farm murder? You know, like lots of I saw lots of comments on the. It was a South African post, and it's amazing to see how much division there is. But kudos to him for actually even bringing it up and creating a bit of awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see Daniel just cringing, going, "What the fuck is he gonna say next?"
no, no, it's a strange one because you know you want to say all South African lives matter, but you can't say that because then it sounds like you're saying all lives matter, to which then you're saying some lives don't matter. But hold on, a minute. we realize that Black Lives Matter, and until Black Lives Matter, all lives, you can't say that. But in South Africa, you really have to look at the Buddha population as a minority, and the way that people are being killed is a bit different to other ways. There's a lot of other shit involved. So if he brings awareness to it, I don't hate him for that.
No,
I know I can't say that. You know, something. You know, we should be talking about all murders. But when someone stands up for their people, you have to also look at them and say, you know,
So,
we need
yeah.
we need to support this guy. And when, you know, also the way the government treats murder in this country is appalling. I'll take any chance I can get to bash the ANC as well. Hello.
Hashtag ANC.
Hashtag footsack ANC. But, you know, they got a bad track record. Facts are backing me up. They're absolutely useless. I don't think that's a controversial point at all to say. And we need to vote them out. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
You know
Drickus-
what? You know what? Let Drickus say what he wants. He's coming off a massive win, and he didn't say anything racist, sexist.
No, not at all.
homophobic.
Not
Yeah.
at all.
So
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. We got it. He's got my support for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
And
He's a
you know
young
what?
guy. He's packing some power. He can make some waves in for our country in the MMA UFC scene over there. And let's not forget we've got the Magic Man Don Madge.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
Also representing SA. He initially with his head kick TKO of T Edwards and in his
On his
UFC debut, getting the 50K. He needs to get back in there. I know he last fought against the French guy in the opener. I think it was Moncton. Moncton was his
Kickboxer,
debut. And we need to get Don Madge back in there. I know we've got some Makachev pictures with Don. Don't know if that's going to happen. I just think they're too
It's
far
just
apart in
banter.
their careers. But we'll see. So let's quickly touch on the main event for next weekend. It's a grudge match.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
an initial friendly battle, and even Brian Ortega pulling out his a Korean gesture of love to Chan Song-jun, the Korean zombie. Now it's gone bitter. Jay Park is involved, a famous K-pop guy, and he was slapped at one of the events. It's got ugly. I can't wait to see this fight. How do you guys see it playing out?
Dude, I am so excited to see Ortega back in. I think he's one of my
2
best
years.
fighters. Dude, I've missed him, and I'm so fraught to see what's going to happen. I mean, I'm also quite a big Korean, I always say zombie. Zombie. I'm also quite a big fan of his, but I'm rooting for Ortega. I'm very excited to see him back in the octagon now.
What do you say, Dan?
So, I mean, I'll do a quick one on this. I think K-pop star, what's his name?
Jay Park.
Jay Park was talking a bit of smack on Twitter, and Brian asked him, are you Jay Park? Are you Jay Park? And gave him a bit of a slap. I don't like that. I mean, a Gracie black belt slapping a normal pop star. Come on. Silly.
But
anyway,
with Brian
don't
Ortega,
worry.
you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know?
Yeah. Don't tell me I'm losing my.
I need a
Don't
90s
tell me.
reference.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the fight. I think the Korean Zombie knows that he doesn't really, as good as Korean Zombie is, and he's great. His jiu-jitsu is really good. It's underrated. I don't think he wants to roll around with Brian Ortega. Yeah, first or second degree Gracie black belt from the academy since he was like 8 years old.
Yep.
Rolling with purple belts when he was like 12. This guy is the real deal in grappling, and I think Korean Zombie's gonna look. He's gonna take a page out of Max Holloway's book for this fight.
I also do think so. Let's give it to Jay first. What are your predictions?
Oh, I don't know how it's going to go down, but this. See, it's also so hard because we haven't seen Ortega fight in so long.
But we were shown how he is beatable.
Yeah.
Make a prediction.
Okay,
Come on,
I'm just going to go
Spin.
second round submission Ortega.
Good call. That's a good call. I'm gonna go decision Korean Zombie. I think he keeps it on the feet. I think Korean Zombie doesn't have the same kickboxing as Holloway. He just isn't that good. Not saying anything bad about Korean Zombie. It's just that Holloway's, proven himself as a champion over quite a few years as an elite kickboxer who's very difficult to take down. And I think Korean Zombie uses Max Holloway's game plan to show that Ortega's hittable, and he does the right defensive wrestling work to stay on his feet, and he gets the decision.
Oof.
But I wouldn't be surprised by a second round sub from Brian. I would not be surprised at all if he guillotines or takes his back or something strange happens in a scramble.
Guys,
Go
I
for
think,
it,
Where you at, Papa G?
I think I'm going bold here. I'm going third round
Knockout.
TKO TKZ. The Korean Zombie.
Oh, okay.
TKO.
Oh, okay.
The Korean,
TKO
the
in the third
TKZ.
round.
TKO.
It's going to be a
All right.
back and forth battle for the first round, a little bit of feeling each other out. It's going to be a little bit of a more contact second round with a bit of scrambles on the ground, getting up, a lot of it against the fence. Then I think Korean Zombie is going to figure out Brian Ortega's patterns on the feet, and he's going to put him down.
You know, I think Ortega's been for the when last did he fight?
2
Like a
years.
year ago.
2 years.
I think he's been kickboxing against elite strikers for 2 years.
Let's see.
We're gonna see. I think he's gonna have hands when he gets back there.
You
See,
You're
the
really
funny,
good.
he hasn't. People have tried to find out what's like been happening. I mean, everyone knows he's been training, but he hasn't been like super open about what's been happening.
Yeah.
He's just
Well,
been,
remember
I'm training.
The fight was booked initially, and then they pushed it out. And I think it was Ortega had an injury. Listen,
Yeah.
Ortega had
Wasn't
to
he-
like reconstruct his hand. He had a lot of psychological battles to go through. This is going to be an interesting one, and I give the Korean Zombie the edge.
Okay.
I think we're gonna see that Ortega's been doing karate and Muay Thai for a lot of striking, but hopefully it's had an effect, and he goes out there and throws bombs, because that's what I want to see, a fun fight.
But
Well, now
just
we've
a
made it
final-
interesting.
Just a final note on this. Sorry, Jay. I'll end on you. We'll end on you. Is they don't call him the Korean Zombie for nothing.
Yeah.
He
tough
can
as
take
nails.
punishment.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I mean, at least we're not all on the same page. We've all got different
Yeah,
calls.
it's going to be a
and
fun one.
It's going to
This
make
is
it
gonna be a
fun.
one.
And
Right,
by the
then-
way,
then-
before we go to the social media burns, I just want to say there's two guys waiting in the wings that need to fight each other, but if they don't, they're still in the top 5. Zabit and Rodriguez.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Then you got
That division is stacked as well.
Dude, there's all kinds of nonsense happening. Calvin Cater, just coming off some big wins. He's been active. Jeremy Stevens, and then it was who did he fight there after? Anyway, but Calvin Cater is also another guy that's in the mix that we mustn't forget about. Cyril Gahn is back at heavyweight, 6-0. That's a guy to look out for. Fun fight is going to be Caitlin Chukagian versus Jessica Andrade. I've got Andrade in that fight. I think she's just far more experienced.
Yeah.
I think
got
she's going to
Andrade.
be a little bit too much for
Knockout.
Chukagian. I think she might put it down, or it's just going to be one of those fucking boring decisions. Gotta
I
be
got
honest,
Andrade
bro.
knockout.
I
Yeah, I
fast
also
forwarded
going
some of
Andrade
the
knockout.
fights last weekend. Jimmy Crute, Modestus Bokauskas. That is going to be amazing. Do not blink in Jimmy Crute and Modestus. That is going to be, if you guys haven't seen Modestus fight, watch it. He's on the main card for a reason. And Jimmy Crute's just come off another win after his first ever loss in his career. So that's going to be another banger. Thomas Almeida versus Jonathan Martinez on as the opener at featherweight, and then Gillian Robertson in the prelims. She's a fun one to watch. She's the Savage. She's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu maniac, and then there's a lot of Megovs and Gulovs and all that kind of stuff.
I like those guys.
Card as well.
They're always fun, and they're good wrestlers.
My biggest fight on this prelim card is the fighter coach who I have followed since the beginning. I love his fighting style. I love him as a coach. He has very successful fighters. James Krause. James Krause is going to be fighting Claudio Silva, and that's going to be a cracker.
Didn't he take a short notice fight?
And he lost and it was a higher weight class, but he won the fight.
Wasn't it? Doesn't he fight at welterweight and he took a middleweight fight?
He took a middleweight fight, but he won the fight. He won 2 out of the 3 rounds convincingly and lost the split decision.
Oh, no. So I was about to say that I thought Artem Lovov might have his GOAT status challenge. But,
yeah, no. So that's going to be a great fight. And then all that's left to do is social media burns, chaps.
Okay, so
brought to you by Scallywag Chili.
The social media burns, brought to you by Scallywag Chili. Burns in, burns out.
Just a quick note on the Scallywag Chili. I tried a new smoky flavor this weekend, and I have suffered the consequences. It has been amazing. It's habanero and red chili. There's a habanero and green chili. Go check out Scallywag on Facebook for more info.
And Rock's new nickname is Gilbert.
All right, so the first social media burns, it's not much of a burn, but it's pretty fun, guys. We have the big old podcast going, looking for an opponent on short notice. Does Don Madge really want to take on Islam Makhachev? Is that the right fight for him? I say maybe not.
I'm gonna say it would be a fun fight, just because I know Don is such a fighter. Yeah. And he's not scared of anyone in the division. I will say to Sean Shelby and Dana White, who do watch the show, Big Al's another podcaster in the scene, and he's doing well. God bless him. That's a believe you me.
He gets the big names in South Africa, so let's show him some respect.
Yeah. So we'll chat. We'll try get Don and Little Giant on as well. We just got to not be so lazy and
for sure.
So yeah, it's because we missed 3 weeks. Otherwise, we could have got Little Bokang on, Little Giant. But I think, look, Big Al's he's just joking. Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard. Let's give Don a sort of top 50 guy, then top 40 guy. He's gonna be a champion one day. I just wanna let's build him up the way we built up Conor.
Yeah, totally. for sure. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
Let's get him back in there.
Listen, Don Madge, it's time he gets back in the mix. It really is time.
Yeah, he's rearing to go. It's the South African useless government that was closing the borders, and can't we just have a negative COVID test and fly SAA to London, and then from London you can London's probably a bad example, but I don't know, Dubai, somewhere where you can get to America and get on or either there onto Yas Island. Anyway, I'm ranting about the ANC again.
Yes,
Told you
Queen.
I'll take any chance I can.
All right, so next social media burn. Listen, I don't think Don Madge should be fighting Islam just yet. I think he needs to fight some other guys. He was calling out Stevie Ray recently, or a year ago or so. And
by the way,
Islam is a step up in competition.
By the way, while we sorry, go finish first.
I do believe he could take. I do believe he could have a chance in the fight. And listen, I'm not doubting Don Madge in any. He can. The way how disgustingly active he is off his back is just a beauty to watch. So I think he would be fine on the ground. But take it easy, take it slow. Don't fight a guy like Makachev who's been in the game for quite a while.
Yeah.
Or
I
you could
agree.
risk it, because he's 2-0. I mean, but the thing is, he doesn't want to lose that O. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to lose that O in the UFC. But I think if he was given Makachev, he would absolutely take it. Don's a fighter. He wants to fight, and he believes in himself. He really does. And I think the whole of South Africa is behind him too.
Yeah.
Just talking about South African MMA, I heard that Dricus actually called out Kevin Holland, which I think would be a really fun fight. Just not to digress too much, but I don't really want to see Dricus versus a black belt jiu-jitsu guy like Jacare Souza. Like, I want to see Dricus versus some kickboxers, and I think Kevin Holland would be a great fight.
Trailblazer would be fun.
I think Dricus would make it fun and knock him out. Anyway,
well,
next
geez,
Yeah.
Trailblazer's hard to hit, so you can't say that too much.
Well, Mark Perez also thought he was hard to hit.
Yeah, true. All right, then next one is we got
Okay.
Pay the
So-
man. Happy to throw in some coin on that one for a crowdfund. Shut the fuck
So
up,
this
pussy.
is
This
just
is
to give you
about- yeah.
Sorry, just to give you some context, I just love the way Dana White runs his social media. And after the knockout where Buckley scored a knockout over Kasanayev,
Kasanganay.
I might be Kasanganay, sorry, I butchered his name. When Buckley scored that knockout, I think that there were so many knockouts on the card that he didn't get a bonus. I also think there's an element to it where the UFC feels like if you have someone's foot, you should be expecting that kick and blocking it or moving away. And I'm not a striking expert by any means, but I think that the UFC feels like there were just better knockouts on the card, so he didn't get a bonus. So old Kelly Slater, the surfer, comes and says, "Pay the man," and says some other bullshit. And Dana White
it's
just
Kelly
says,
Slater.
"Yeah,
Cheapers.
I didn't notice
and-
that it was Kelly Slater going.
No, but
and
that's
Dana
why-
White
that's
tunes
why
him,
it's-
shut the fuck up.
Look, if a random oak comments that, I think he gets about 6 likes. Kelly Slater's got a name, so he gets 649 likes, whatever. And Dana White just told him to shut the fuck up, pussy.
And he gets 745 likes. Sit
you know
down,
what?
Kelly
Don't-
Slater.
Yeah, but also, you know what? Don't tell Dana White how to promote MMA.
No,
Like,
true story.
just don't do it. Like, the guy is the president of the UFC for a reason, and the UFC is the greatest fighting championship in the world for a reason.
Damn
so
skippy,
I,
brother.
I agree. Shut the fuck up, pussy.
Kelly said is amazing, but stick to the ocean.
Okay, cool. So let's go to the next burn. I
Okay,
think we're
next burn.
on the verge of freezing again, so let's go.
Oh, bullshit, man. We don't know.
Well, you never know. You never know. It's there's a bit more bandwidth going in there.
All right. Okay, so next one. Let's go. Hamzat Chimaev says rankings have never mattered in the Oh, Darren Till says this. And Hamzat shared it saying rankings have never mattered in the UFC. Hamzat, after I destroyed Jack, as in Jack the Joker Hermanson in December, if you're still struggling to get a match, I'll give you a go at the big boy, son. Darren Till, you need to shut the fuck up yourself because you got to get Jack Hermanson.
So what happened? So a little bit of context. So Kamzat, he posted online that I can't remember if it was on Facebook, Insta, Twitter. So he posted that Wonderboy turned down a fight with him at welterweight, and Chris Weideman turned down a fight with him at middleweight because Kamzat said, I'm coming to smash everybody."
Yeah, well, does smash everybody, brother.
So Dazza Till, old Tarandil,
Tarandil.
said that he said, "Hey, rankings are never mattered in the UFC. After I destroyed Jack in December, you're still struggling for a rematch." Wait, I can't read it. "If you're still struggling to get a match, I'll give you a go at the big boys soon." With the gorilla.
Fuck you, ain't scared of nobody.
And speaking on that note,
Next one.
Speaking on that note, we are a little bit. We got some technical difficulties, but next one.
What's the technical difficulty?
Just it froze for 1 second. Sorry, guys,
sorry,
I'm just
sorry.
being dramatic.
Okay.
And then
So
Dazza Till's got another one. Boom! So Mike Perry said that he would whoever because okay.
How
so
much
little
will you
bit of
pay me
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the Thailand?
Yeah. A little bit of context. Mike Perry had his girlfriend in his corner last time because he said, "I don't need coaches. I just want to make money and pay my tax." So that was a bad Mike Perry impression, but whatever.
That was horrendous. Yeah.
So then he said whoever wants to be my corner man, it's open. Just whoever pays me the most. So Dazza Till said he put 100,000 quid down, and I think it was dollars, not pound, and said he's gonna be Mike Platinum Perry's cornerman, and this is amazing. This is fun. It's going to be at middleweight. They fight in the same division, and I think that these guys are going to fight each other at some point down the line somewhere. Just that Dazza Till is a bigger name at the moment. But I think he takes the fight seriously if he's a cornerman.
No, definitely. But I can't help but notice this comment here. Leslie Davidson goes, don't care about the 12 pound 38 if that's going to be in my pocket, you pre-owned Slazenger's trainer. Here we go again, big fat lesbian.
Someone called him a pre-owned Slazenger trainer, which is quite a bad diss in Liverpool.
Yeah, that is a diss.
And Dazza Till just said, "Shoot up, you big fat lesbian."
Yeah, who the fuck is this guy? That's
who the
amazing.
fuck is this guy?
No, yeah, listen.
So not
we
nice
must
to
keep
call
an
someone
eye
a big
on-
fat lesbian, but I think I see what he means. Anyway.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on what's going on with Mike Perry, because he's coming up against Robbie Lawler soon, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Next
gonna
one.
be
Is that it?
interesting.
Is that social media burns? Is that all, boys?
Hold on? Is Robbie Lawler moving up to middleweight?
No, it's welterweight bout, bro.
Oh, sorry, Perry's at welterweight.
Yes,
but
yeah.
they both have fought. They both have fought at middleweight before. My bad.
Yeah. But that's the social media burns for today, boys.
Brought to you by Scallywag.
Brought to you by Scallywag. And on that note, I think that's from the corner.
Yeah, we did a good catch up over the 3 weeks.
It's been a while. And listen, let's not let the listeners wait next time. Let's make sure that we're back next week. We've got some big fights coming up.
Yes.
Obviously, Fight Island. And then we've got UFC. I think it's 254 coming up with Gaethje and Habib. And you know what the great thing, boys? I think we need to make a plan. It's Abu Dhabi time, which means it's our time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you got Whitaker, Jared. Oh,
We could do a little live. We can't call it
Hold
a
on.
companion. But
Is
we can
Bobby
call it
Knuckles?
something.
Is Bobby Knuckles fighting Jared Cannonier?
Yes.
Oh my God! So
Alexander Volkov.
Yep.
It's the second best gorilla versus Bobby Knuckles. Okay, I'm all in. Yeah, let's try to do a companion, but either way, we'll be back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So it's Khabib Gaethje, Whitaker Cannonier, Volkov, Walt Harris, Makachev versus TB confirmed, Cynthia Calvillo versus Lauren Murphy, and Magomed
And then
Ankalaev versus
finally-
the Hulk Ian Kitalaba. Guys,
Finally, let's hope that one happens, eh?
wow.
Yeah, I'm all in for Hulk.
Let's go.
Kitalaba.
Let's go, baby. But is that the episode for today, boys?
That's it.
Signing out. Love you all. This is From the Corner. We're out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
From the corner. Yeah. Sometimes your stock is just higher.
Telling you that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's probably one of the worst things I've ever heard. Let's move on.
Just like that. From